So I want to talk a little bit about this project. This cross cart going to be powered by a Suzuki 650, and I'm building an independent rear suspension. The spools totally DIY. Mazda Miata axles, and the wheel bearing carriers for the rear are these I can't remember at the minute. But basically, oh yeah, they're from a Polaris. So these are the rear hubs that's going to go to the independent suspension. So they'll be sitting on out here like yay. Of course, with the hub on the outside and the CV axle going to the spool. I used to race go-karts, so I'm kind of good at building them. I don't really have a lot of welding, fabrication experience. I trust my welds, but they're not pretty. I guess that's a good thing. I'd much rather have a good weld that wasn't so pretty. I mean, really, I'd like to have them look like, they were TIG welded by a professional. But I'm using a $180 easy weld and flux wire, and there ain't no MIG or TIG here. I've been at it for a few hours already today, as you can see. But basically, the original part of the chassis was just an old go-kart, a Chinese go-kart. But we've added a lot to that. Took a lot off too. So I'm using the same sprocket that came on the bike. But my tires are going to be a little about 2/3 the size of the rear tire. So basically, an easy way to figure out your speeds based on that is 66%. So whatever it did in first gear, it's going to do 66% of that on up through the gears. I'm not looking for a 120 mile an hour go-kart. I'm looking for something that'll give you a lot of fun, be reliable, reasonably safe. A lot more safe than the kind of go-karts that I used to race, I can assure you of that. It's got a full cage with a 5-point harness. A lot of it's going to be closed in. As it gets done, it's going to be closed in. I'm going to use Zeus fittings, so I can take and remove panels and put them back on. That's from the go-karting world. Go-kart, I could take my body off in 5 minutes with a nickel. Pop, 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 pop. Boom, body's laying on the ground and everything's accessible to work. The motor I got was off a wrecked bike. It ate the front forks. The only damage to the actual mechanical part of the motor was the radiator and the headers. So I've got some custom headers being made right now. Black Widow in the UK. Don't ask me why I had to go to the UK to get good headers made, but for a good price. all stainless, beautiful looking stuff. I haven't really figured out the layout, whether they're gonna go out underneath or come out above. I prefer the exit up above, but that might not work out. It really depends on how the motor lays in and how the exhaust works. But basically all the parts are here now, pretty much. There's still a few things I'm waiting on. Wheels, tires,